Hello there. Welcome once again to Living on Purpose. My name is Fola Daniel Speaks, and today I want to talk about pay now, play later. Pay now, play later. There are some people who always decide to play at the beginning of everything, and they will eventually pay when their colleagues are playing. If you don't want to pay when your colleagues are playing, then you need to make the decision to pay now. What do I mean by pay now, play later? Paying now and playing later simply talks about making all the required sacrifices for you to become successful. Make all the sacrifices when you still have the strength, particularly as a young man or as a young woman. Make sure that you work very hard so that you have something to fall back on in your old age. This is not the time to go all about the city gallivanting. This is not the time to paint the town red. Yes, once in a while you can go out and relax, have get together with your friends, have a great time. But this is really the time for you to work. This is when you have the strength. When you become old and retired, you will have all the time in the world. You're going to be bored. But at that time, if you have not worked for so much and you don't have anything saved up, you will be working in your old age and you will be working tirelessly. There are two categories of people working in their old age. The first category are those who are working because they are too restless. If they start sitting at home, they will feel too restless. Some of them say they will become sick because they will always be bored. So they are working not because they don't have anything saved up. They are working not because they don't have investments, but because going out helps them. It keeps them alive. They're able to talk to people. They're able to meet people on a daily basis. But there are those who are working not because they want to meet people and not because they are bored. They would love to retire, but they know they cannot retire. And the reason they cannot retire is because they have not saved up anything. They don't have anything. While some of their colleagues were paying the price to become successful, raising children, sending them to the university so that the children can in turn take care of them in the future, they were all over the place just doing whatever they liked. So they played in their early days. Now they are paying the sacrifices. I'm sure that if for whatever reason you would like to work in your old age, it would be because you don't want boredom to kill you. It would not be because you don't have a choice. Now, that elderly person who has a choice can decide, look, this work is stressing me out. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm not coming again, or I'm not doing this business again. I can just ask my children to take over. But that's when you've had something that you've done. When you don't have something that you've put on ground, you will work until the last day of your breath. But that's not good enough. That's why you must pay now and play later. If you're a student, you must make the sacrifice to study now so that when other people are playing, you'll be able to say, oh, when I was a student, I did this, I did that. It was tough, but thankfully we've graduated. You need to make the sacrifices today. Even if you have graduated, when you start earning money, what you need to do is to pay the sacrifices. Delay your gratification. Don't always buy the latest gadgets. Don't always buy the latest car. Don't always move to the trending neighborhood. They say, oh, this neighborhood is the biggest neighborhood right now. That's where all the richest people are living. And the next thing you're thinking about moving to that neighborhood. There are certain things you need to delay. There are certain things you can't always jump at. Every year, a new phone is always released. Some of you will jump at it. Every year, a new laptop is released. Some of you jump at it. Every year, a new tablet is released. You jump at it. There's also a new television set that is released. You jump at it. And many of those things, you don't even maximize up to 20% of their capacity, but you are constantly upgrading. What exactly are you upgrading to, and why are you upgrading? You need to know that if you make the sacrifices today, at the end of the day, you are the one that will still enjoy those sacrifices that you're making, which is why we're telling you to make sure that you are paying now and then you can play later. I've seen parents who paid the ultimate price to make sure that they have something reserved for their children. And today they are happy because they are still alive to see some of those things they worked for, and their children also have something to fall back on. Some of their children have even become so successful that those children don't need those things that they worked for anymore. And they can go ahead and give it to somebody else or tell their children, decide whatever you want with it. But those parents have peace of mind because they paid the price when they should. If you're also a young person in your 20s, pay now so that you can play later. Pay the price for your academics. Pay the price for that extra degree. Pay the price for that training so that you can play later. It's not every money that you see that you spend going on vacation, going to one. You're too young to be going on every opportunity. Every vacation that you see an opportunity for. You're too young to be going on vacation every 6 months, every 3 months. You're too young for that. Even if you have all the money in the world, you still need to pay for certain things today. And when we say pay, we're simply saying make the sacrifice, delay gratification, build something for yourself so that when the time comes and you don't have the energy to jump about anymore, you would realize that you're a fulfilled person. All the things that other people want to be struggling for at that age, you would have them. Why? Because you've paid the sacrifices. So if you pay the sacrifices, you'll have the results later. Anybody who does not pay sacrifices will eventually still pay for them. The only problem is that when you're supposed to be playing, you will be paying, and it is always a painful thing to go through. So I want to implore you again, take a look at your life. Ask yourself questions. Take a look at what you're doing today. Are you playing now, or are you already paying the necessary sacrifices for the kind of life that you want? If you're not yet paying the sacrifices for the kind of life that you want, you need to start doing it now. You need to stop playing so that you can actually make the sacrifices and get what you want in life. Thank you for listening. Please head on now to www.youtube.com/Fola Daniel Speaks.